Welcome to the Weekends Overrated. It's your host, Don Dollar. Thank all of those who have been tuning in, watching our videos, YouTube, Instagram. We appreciate it all. Make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe. Again, we are trying to grow the channel, so every little bit helps. And we'll appreciate the support. Like I said, just getting the content out. Like I said, real things in real time with real people. Today, what did we learn? What do we learn for today is simply the victims are really just the villain in disguise. That's the title. Whenever I sit and listen to someone who has an issue about anything, what the problem is never really sits on my mind too long. Because problems are pretty easily to identify. I think once we get past what the initial issue is, I'm solely listening to what the resolution will be. What's the plan of action? How we're going to counter it. But what I'm quick to see is that whatever the issue is, it's like the individual will keep sensationalizing and reheating and just keeps continuously circling what the problem is. And when you do the math, quick math by the way, you'll see that any type of injection of solution is either quickly dismissed or is taken offensively as if a solution is just out of the realm of possibility. Few things can plug and play when we're talking about victims who are just villains in disguise. Now, clearly that doesn't apply to all things, so don't take it and run with it. But, for example, relationships. Ones that aren't involved in any type of domestic abuse, like, physically from that standpoint. I would say if someone's continuously doing something that you don't like, or, if you feel like it's just mentally it's just, it's not bringing you any type of value, and you don't have the capacity to design an exit strategy. So like, okay, this isn't working, let me just exit stage left. If you will continuously stay under the premise of some type of false hope that things will change, you contribute to the problem just as much as the person that you are painting as a villain, when you should be painting yourself alongside them, because it takes two to tango. And it's not just there. It's let's take it a step further. In life, whenever someone isn't in a position that they want to be in, rather it's a job that they work, rather it's money saved, rather it's money invested, rather it's health, getting in shape, losing weight, rather it's spiritually, it's always this circus of parading around what the problem is. I guess when people do that, it's like an attempt to have others like join in and have some sort of relatability to whatever the problem is. And right there, you'll see that everything that is being focused on, none of it mirrors a solution. You gotta listen. When an individual, whether it be a sibling, parent, relative, friend, coworker, whoever, whenever they have a problem and they're discussing it with you, if you notice that they just keep discussing the problem over and over and over and over and over and over, offer them what you would consider a logical, foundational level solution and just see how the response is. Because most of the time, no one wants to fix their problem. They just want to voice their frustration with said problem. And I know they got a couple definitions for insanity, but I'm going to go ahead and put that one in there. Um, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put that one in there because I think it's something to be concerned about when you have an individual who can't function with, like, they can't function in peace. And what I mean peace are just they like, it has to be non-function in order for them to function. Something has to be going on. Some problem has to be, there always has to be an opposition, right? So for those individuals, I gotta keep them. I gotta keep them arms, legs, state's length. I gotta keep them far away because there's no value there. There's no value there. What value do you bring anybody in any situation when you avoid resolution, you avoid solution, you avoid, how to attack, like what's the action plan? Because you'll see that it's not just in one area of their life. It's in several different areas, and then it becomes a reoccurring theme. So they go from person to person, they go from situation to situation, and they'll paint the villain. The villain could be their boyfriend or girlfriend. The villain can be their boss or their coworker. The villain can be their sibling or their parent. The villain can be their neighbor or whoever. And they'll have all of these different issues with all of these different people. But what you'll see is there's only one common denominator, and that's them. And nothing that will be relayed to you, as in the problem, will include a solution. Like, okay, this is the problem. This is how I'm going to react to it going forward. It's never that. It's always like, how can I use certain words to help us bond over this problem that I want to keep circling around? So, in terms of what do we learn, villains are really victims in disguise. Oh no, I said that wrong. Victims are really villains in disguise. It's cool. See, we mess up. I had a problem. I made a mistake, and then my action was to correct it. But yeah, just be worried. Just be leery of those people. It always takes two. It's never just one single individual that's causing a ruckus. It's always a second or third party. And my advice, even though I don't really like giving it because people are hard-headed, the longer you stay in the problem is as long as you'll have the problem. When you start focusing on the solution, then you'll get towards the solution. And then you won't have to worry about being a villain or a victim. You'll be the victor.